Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Legacy United Deluxe Barrage figures. So we're going to be comparing him obviously with his Generation 1 self. We're going to be having a look at some of the other insecticons that have been released in the Legacy toy line, as well as comparing him with his mold mate. This is the original owner of the mold, which is of course Bombshell. So lots to get through with this video. So as I start to pop some of these out the way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if they'd hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And also to thank Hasbro Pulse, because if anybody's wondering, that's where I got this from, and as you can see they got him to me nice and quickly and safely. So before we go any further, we've got to take a little bit of time just to appreciate this beautiful box art. There we go, there he is. Again, if you're wondering, we will see a bit of chop shop, but his own review is separately uploaded. You've probably already seen that. There's the Legacy United logo with the Doom and Destruction collection. It looks like that's got its own logo as well. And then on this particular side we've got again the insecticons, and again you've probably already noticed the transformation process video that I've put up already, so that will keep the length of this video down. So if I bring in the new version of Barrage himself, this is great, and it's such a clever use of this particular mold, which we'll see again in a second in more detail. One thing to add, guys, these come separately wrapped up, a bit like Chop Shop's additional legs, so you have to actually attach these yourselves. This is a bonus though, because that obviously means that the two small I suppose these were legs with Bombshell, they're blasters as well. They are definitely just blasters in this particular mode. This, if I want to be super pedantic, is perhaps a little bit loose, but again, I am being super pedantic. There is a bit of articulation in the fact that it moves up and down. These legs don't really do anything, but these you can turn if you want to. To be honest, it's pretty much, I was going to say stagnant, that's not the right word, but you can't really do too much with the alternate mode. It does look good. Colour scheme is, I mean, it's such a great homage. It really is. And a quick apologies for the legs on here being everywhere. Main reason is because it's vintage. I thought that I'd never have to transform it again, but obviously I have done for this particular video. And again, I hope you accept my apologies and the fact that I don't want to keep bending all the legs in and out. But you will get to see this again in robot mode as well. So look at the homage. It's brilliant. So clever. And again, a brilliant use of the Bombshell mold. Now the other thing, as I say, with the fact that we've got these blasters, means that you could do what I think it was known as the Evo Fusion gimmick, where you could combine all the weapons. You can of course still do that and attach this to either hole on the back. You could also, if you wanted to, put any other 5mm weapon on. You could attach that there, and you can also attach the blast effects of Minotaurus, which again you'll be seeing in a separate video very soon, as well as a collection one. So there isn't really much more to say about the alternate mode. It is great, it does look good, and I'm really pleased that we've finally got the deluxe insecticons. This is going to sound really backwards. The deluxe insecticons in deluxe size. What I mean by that is, in G1 these were known as deluxe insecticons, whereas the other original three were just classed as normal insecticons. So size wise, again, as you'd expect, I suppose like a chunky sort of deluxe, rather than, this is obviously a longer version of a deluxe, but yeah, nice chunky, again I suppose about average sort of size. But there you go, guys, there's really nothing more to say about him in this particular mode. It's definitely all about the robot mode, which is how I'm going to be displaying him. So let's come back and have a look at him in that. Okay then, guys, we're back and in the robot mode. As I've already mentioned, the transformation process is separately uploaded. So this is of course now where the newer figures come into their own, and that is due to the fact of just how much articulation they've got. But once again, we've got to appreciate the brilliant homage to the original figure. Now the first thing that's so much better, although I did say that this was a little bit loose in the alternate mode, it's nowhere near as bad as the G1, and I've got to confess this will probably fall down in a minute, and then you will definitely see the fact that I have blue tacked it up. So what I want to very carefully do is, right, I do need to turn his arms around. I've just realized that for this particular video, as I said, I didn't really want to transform these figures, but I know that it wouldn't be fair for you guys to not see them in their proper, well, who their original homage videos was. Right, there we go, there he is properly there. So you can see straight away the front is much thinner. The color scheme again is great, and these wings at the back, they're obviously completely missing on here, but that's the back of the legs, which again is, perhaps if I'm being really pedantic, they might have been able to do something just to lift this up or to give it that appearance of lifting up. Now the best thing, or one of the cleverest things about the original G1 figure was, I mean, if I say to you now, where's his legs, you'll see exactly what I mean by that, which is great. Okay, yes, you can see these on here, which isn't bad. But this, again, this is a 40-plus-year-old figure, and look, it's brilliant. So let me just show you. You will see that in their own video. Two of them are tucked away very neatly in the side there, and then the other four rather are tucked away in the back of the leg and underneath. So that's a great touch from this. So with this one, you've got the visible wings. With this one, you've got no legs and no visible wings. Again, remember, these you can take off if you want, because you do separately attach them. Articulation wise though, let's just move him out of the way for now. You've got the head, which will turn around. It won't look up or down. There's no range of motion for it there to do so. The shoulder movement, that just fell forward, see, is slightly restricted due to the legs, as in you won't get the full T, but it'll go high up enough. You'll also get a full rotation there though, which is great. There's a swivel on the shoulder. Is it on the bicep as well? No, it's just inside there, inside the shoulder. You've got a bicep bend. The wrists, unfortunately, don't spin. And of course, you can see again, there's a little gap where you would indeed fold the fists into the forearms. Waist will swivel all the way around. Legs, though, oh, there you go, aren't hindered either way. You can do full splits. In fact, you can go past the pointer splits on each of these. So because that's fell off, I will very quickly just show you how simple and easy it is to reattach. It's just one of your 5mm ports. So again, the choice is up to you if you actually want the legs visible. If you don't want these visible, just take them off. It's no issues whatsoever. There's a swivel at the top of the hips. There's your knee bend. And then again, you've got all your ankle tilt, rocking, toe tap, etc. Huge amounts of articulation. And this is where it pretty much comes in to be very similar to Bombshell with the amount of accessories that you've got. What I'm going to very quickly do though is show you the G1 ones. Very different. So we've got a yellow sword and a blaster like that. So the blaster, unfortunately, doesn't really look like, no, it doesn't. It looks like the G1 Bombshell, which of course is his mold mate. So let's bring this version in so you can tell. Again, look, very clever use. Very clever use. You can't move the legs on that either, no, of this particular mold. But if you look properly, you can see, or carefully shall we say, they've inverted the back, or they've just spun it round, so the torso is the other way around, which again is very, very clever. There's this weapon I was on about with the two things which do form part of his legs and the blaster. So we can do exactly the same with this. Again, up to you. If you want to, you can have them individually, or you can do exactly that. You can combine them all up, and I'm pretty sure it was known as an Evo Fusion gimmick anyway. And as I say, this bit is staying up. The bit I was on about, see, it's fell down, and there's the bit of blue tack that I have to use to keep it up. Right, let's bring in first and foremost the pack mate. So we've got mold mate and pack mate, and to be fair, you can see again that there's a lot of similarities used with all these. They are very, very clever. And I'm just going to take this guy out of the way for now, because it's time for the deluxe insecticons to be deluxe. So of course, now all we do definitely need is Venom. He's scheduled for release on his own next year some point, I believe. So there they are. That's going to give you an idea of their particular height and size. Randomly enough, there's him, and there's your Earthrise one. So there's a couple of Voyager class primes to give you an idea of how big he is. Let's bring in some more of the Doom and Destruction guys. There is, of course, Windsweeper and Prime Universe Breakdown. He's quite a big deluxe, isn't he? He really is. If I just even out to make it a little bit fairer, let's bring in some smaller deluxe figures, again, to make you see that he is pretty much, as you say, a bang average deluxe size figure. Really good. Looks good on display with all these. Colour schemes on these are great. When we get all these, when we get Venom as well with the bright oranges, it is going to be absolutely brilliant. Couple more quick figures I'm just going to bring on, which are all random sizes, some not even official figures, just to give you an idea of the size of this very, very quickly. Because to be honest, there's not much more to say about him apart from I'm just absolutely buzzing at the fact that we've now got deluxe insecticons. Makes no sense, but yeah, there you go, guys. Hopefully you've been able to get some for yourselves. As I say, as far as I'm aware, Hasbro Pulse still hasn't sold out, so hopefully be able to get yours. And again, keep your eyes out for the other reviews, one of the Hammer and then a quick one of them all together, and then funnily enough another video of all of both the first packs together as well. In the meantime, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.